Okay, this is part one of the Nighthawk build that I'm going to show you. This is the VFC2 section of it. Basically I'm going to show you the best way of checking the polarity of these, because sometimes the manufacturers wire them up differently inside. So first of all, obviously put your batteries in there and test this unit before you take it apart, because once you pierce through the warranty sticker, it will then be void. The warranty will then be void. Okay, so I've already pre-tested this one. I will have the forward wind button pressed on a lot of this build, so you don't have to slowly watch me take this apart. It can be quite boring, but I've done this 100 times. But I want to show you how to check. So the first thing is, the easiest way to check to see whether they have correctly wired black to pos and red to neg is to check on the rear of your battery case. Now, so what you do, turn it over, you'll have a pos and you'll have a neg, okay, and these are in series. So the pos is the one you're going to need, and the very neg end one is the very one you're going to need. The one that's on here, as you can see, the black wire is connected to the pos, and the red wire is connected to the negative. So this is actually wrong, but the manufacturers don't expect us to take them apart, so they don't care really what colours they use. So got to be mindful of that. When you rewire this in, the pos is your black, the negative is your red. Okay, so that's that part. So make a mental note of that. Now obviously you can see this is your screen. You have the ribbon cable connected to your screen onto the circuit board. You have your video out. You have your power supply to your screen lights that lights the back of your screen up. So this is going to have to be cut into as well, because you'll be dimming your screen with the switch, rotary switch. But what we want to do first is get to the on and off button, the rear. So we're going to want to take the screws out. Do bear with me if I waffle on, I'm very sorry, but I'm trying to keep this as informative to you as possible. Some of you will already know a lot of this, some of you won't. There's all the 4 screws. Okay, so what you want to do now, so you don't damage the ribbon cable, is you want to pop the 2 tabs up on each side. Very careful, you don't want to tear the ribbon cable. If you do, it's a very expensive tear, because the screens themselves are about £50 each, and the most expensive part of the unit. So what I tend to do in my builds is I toughen the ribbon cable, because all this recoil you get from your rifles will eventually tear them. So I always toughen the ones I build. Okay, so that's out. You won't need the screen again for a little while, so keep it in there. Usually I would put the lid back on to keep the screen protected, because you don't want to damage the screen. It's not very nice having a scratch on that. Okay, right, so where were we? Oh. So this focus. So yes, we are going to solder the S1 side of the switch from here to here to complete the circuit. So have a little tiny bit of solder on the tip just to help the heating process. And start adding a little tiny bit at a time. Do it on both sides. Flick some away if there's too much. You can never take too long on this part. A little bit at a time. Adding. Right, as you can see now, with all the soldering I did, managed to solder one part of the switch to the other part. So we've made a short across the two terminals there. So that will make this button useless now, and we will be using the rotary switch to activate the on and off for the unit. Okay, so that's that part done. We'll be going on to part 2 in a minute, and that will be setting up the mount base.